Better safe than sorry, though.
I greet you.
Ilmador seems distracted in thought and ignores you. As Victor assumed, he had been more concerned with the spiders. The kobolds were not even close to an infestation. Their job done, Victor would move forward and glance towards the door to the east. A test, Numenor had stated. And he felt an odd energy coming from that mummified hand. He ignored it. There was no point in keeping that thing. The key that had been given to him was, surprisingly, just fine. It worked and slid without any effort, a showcase of just how potent the magics of the ancient elves were. A carefully constructed marker. Okay. Safe becomes death, and death becomes safe when one has what he desires. Well, judging from the scorch mark and the dead skeleton, it was fairly clear what that was referring to. Assumedly, this red path was safe for now, but then would become death, which meant he should follow it. Would it disappear after he got on it? Or only after he arrived there? He should memorize it just to be sure anyway. So 3 forward, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left, 2, 3, 4, 4 forward, and 2 forward after that. 2 right, I guess I should think. And then down here is just hit the white at the corner and run all the way to the edge. I guess we'll find out. I'm gonna save just to make sure. Alright. Victor, taking a breath, would inform both of them to stay and begin. Oh, this is easy. It doesn't even fade after that. Very well. No problem at all. He waited for that thought to backfire on him. Bloodstain was curious. It appears that someone failed the test and wrote a short note in their own blood. Now macabre. Damnable elves, death awaits on path. Should have walked on the other. Apparently, he died before he could finish. Well, it was likely a thief, so Victor felt no remorse. Cloak of Asgilhorn. As he had assumed, it appeared. Now was the only time to know. And he was correct. Very well. Just had to run back then. And the test was complete. He wasn't sure how that was supposed to be so daunting, but he supposed not everyone would memorize such things as easily. Found in an elven crypt, the cloak was once given to elven soldiers who completed their training and successfully passed a dangerous challenge. Well, it essentially is the equivalent of Thornguard, but it looks a lot nicer, it has a lot better lore, and it's bludgeoning instead of piercing. Which, to be fair, is probably worse, but I don't care, because Angelo... Wow, I'm all over the place with the character names today. Victor would wear it purely because this is the reflection of history, of warriors that stood up for the overall good of the world. You certainly wouldn't ever dishonor them by selling it or throwing it away. Mummified hand and cloak in tow, Victor would begin moving forward and exit the tomb. And it had been an interesting journey, to say the least. And as much as he wanted to go to Blumberg, he supposed that he should... Oh. His thought was interrupted. Your backpack shakes as you feel the mummified hand trying to escape or get your attention. That bad sensation. The energy radiating from it of arcane origin had clearly been correct. The fact it still moved was disturbing, and it seemed to want to tell him something whether he liked it or not. Raising it, the hand, instead of trying to attack him or anything else, instead pointed toward the east. He wasn't entirely sure what it would be pointing towards, except, well, perhaps the high forest. Was it trying to tell him where the other artifacts were, or something else of great power? Perhaps the individual that sent the gnolls? It was hard to say. He needed to contact Aela. And it was quite a long run back. Blumberg was nearby. As much as he hated to waste the crystals, perhaps a sparing use like this would be fine. Aela could teleport him right back here, theoretically. Deciding it was worth it, he raised the ring and activated it. Oh, I'm just trying to walk around you, Harmony.
Have you any news of the artifacts?
You can lie. I have recovered the mummified hand. Excellent. To be honest, this artifact was the one I was most afraid of ending up in the wrong hands. Belpharon was a frightening villain, to say the least. I do remember something about this hand, now that I think about it. It is possible that it might be able to point the way to the other artifacts, quite literally, as Victor had just experienced. You could try using the hand to direct you to them if you feel it is necessary. Do you want to keep it for that? No, I don't think Victor would feel comfortable hauling around the hand of the dead Lich. He's fairly confident that he can use his own wits, wiles, and judgment to find out where the other artifacts are. As you wish. It's probably for the best. There's no telling just what Belpharon's hand is capable of, really. Have you found anything else yet? No, nothing yet. How is Master Drogon doing, though? Fine, for now. Thanks to those herbs, he lapses in and out of consciousness and still needs my attention, but the prognosis is still good. I should be going for now. He's going to sell the items he's recovered so far just to clear out their inventory, and also he'd like to take a moment. As much as he wants to get to Blumberg as quickly as possible and find out what happened to that kobold and why it left and headed to a human town of all things, he also is fully aware that without his spells, as Dorna has pointedly reminded him several times now, he's quite useless. A tactical mind at best that has some knowledge of history, maybe some surgical knowledge, not enough to warrant leading the party. At least the town seemed a little more active. The children were out playing. That said something about how comfortable everyone felt now that things had finally passed.
Hail and well met.
Oh, wait. Dorna, let me have the things back, please. I'm going to get rid of it all. Good? I'm tired of trying to carry it all around. The armor, ring, she can keep those. I don't know if she actually uses them, though. Does she? I don't know if the AI is advanced enough for that. I haven't seen her use them, but she hasn't needed them yet either, so. As much as I'd hate to sell that bow, I don't think there's much choice in the matter. Because neither of us use bows.
Hail and well met.
You've returned, Victor. What can I do for you? Like to see your goods, please. Of course, for you, anything. Trying to give her an accent similar to Dorna's, but not as potent. Sell that, sell the silver ring and all these helmets. Actually, you know what? I'll edit this out. I'll come back to you once we're back at the house. There's not much here for you guys to see, so I will be right back in a moment. Victor, having finished everything and sold all the extras he managed to obtain, would return back to the house and decide that he needed to take a rest. If he wanted to be useful in the next, well, any of the battles to come, he needed to have his spells rememorized once more. With this in mind, he would retire. Though instead of going to his own bedroom, he decided it was a better idea to go into Drogon's and spend some time studying some of the books that the man had. Perhaps it would help him increase his arsenal a bit more. And it would be from this point that he would fall into the chair, just as Dorna and Harmony would also relax, the little pseudo-dragon wrapping around his neck, as Victor would open his book and grab one of the tomes from Drogon's shelf, settling back and resting for a moment. It would be several hours in order for him to properly memorize everything, and while he was doing such, Dorna and Harmony were able to take a little nap. Oof, more thunder. As I was about to continue. Okay. The little break had not only helped regain both their energy and focus, but also allowed Victor to memorize 2 new spells, Burning Hands as well as Resist Elements. His arsenal increased and restored, as well as his book having had time to recharge itself during that period. He was once more ready to be an active participant in battle. Their little rest complete, it was time to be teleported back and continue their journey, this time to Blumberg. Coming down from the steps, it was time to contact Aella once more. Contact? I'm pretty sure you just call that having a conversation.
Have you any
Okay,
news of the artifacts?
No, nothing yet. However, I need you to teleport me somewhere. I can try. Where do you need to go? I need to go to back to the last place I used the ring. Are you certain? If you left danger in the spot you came from, it will still be there. I would not want you to waste crystals unnecessarily. Yes, I want to go. Alright, I should be able to pick up the location from your ring. Yes, good. It's within range. One moment, please. The slight sway of teleportation never quite became something you got used to. Drogon had only re-teleported them back a few times. It was much rockier than the ring itself. Hiccups are always good. And now, it was time to head to Blumberg. And that's why Victor went the wrong way. The narrator's an idiot. Alright. It was time to go to Blumberg. And there's a knoll. Oh boy. Alright, well, let's shoot him with a bolt. Wow, yeah, that hammer's much better. It's only one, so shouldn't have to need any spells or usages here. Why was a knoll standing out front of Blumberg? Was it a stray? A scout? Leftover? It didn't make much sense to him. And it also bode very badly Perhaps he should have not taken so long in memorizing his spells. Perhaps they were only slightly damaged. Mass destruction, slaughtered cattle, bodies lining the road, and an old man stumbling toward him bleeding from the stomach. A blessed sight you are, sir. I am almost done for, but you must flee. Flee from this place. Blumberg is destroyed. Hold still, let me treat you with this. Oh, the pain. Quickly getting to work, stitching the wound up, despite the man's moans of agony. He would mend it as quickly as possible. Thank you so much, stranger. Oh. Okay, well, we're gonna say he died mid-conversation. I guess that's what was supposed to happen anyway, but, Jesus. Thank you so much, stranger. I feel so much better. Why, I don't think I've felt this good in years. Why, even the pain in my back is gone. And I've had that agony for a decade. And then he died, and that was the end of that, and that is extremely depressing. Victor, full of rage, spotted the two archers, raising the book and releasing a spell he probably should save. One blast, then another, this time from his own hand.
By the blood of the oath!
And then the archer. Well, nope, not even a bolt. Just the one poor knoll. This place looks even worse than Hilltop. Keep lookout for gnolls still about. Indeed. It seems we shouldn't have taken that little nap after all. Perhaps there's some survivors somewhere besides that old man. Come out, stupid kobold! Though Victor would file that information under, he ignored the pain of his side, having finally had his blood drawn, instead focusing on the opponents that he now faced. The gnoll was distracted by the door, but he soon didn't have much time. An incantation and a fire of acid. Waving the wand. You were sure that would draw that one's attention. Time to fire more. No, you don't. And the last one. Oh, 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 there's more. There's another one. Arcane missiles flew in every direction. Oh, ow. I'm squishy. I can't take hits like that. Victor, releasing a slow breath as he glanced about the bodies, made sure that for now it appeared clear. The axe had bit into him through the cloth, and he knew he should treat it, but all he could see was the burning buildings and the dead bodies. Victor, you need to tend to your wound. Right. Gritting his teeth, not against the pain, but against his own incompetence. Victor would mend his wounds and then see to harmonies as well. If they had been quicker, if they had knew better what they were doing, perhaps they could have avoided this catastrophe. How many people had lived here, slaughtered like cattle? A slow breath, and that was all he could offer. There was no point haunting himself over it. He could only try to do better in the future. Gathering what remained, he could at least use it to help others. What a waste of life. Okay, this is not something Victor would think about right now, but why the hell are the chickens in a row? How did this happen? I don't Okay, sure. The kobold had clearly fled here, and judging from the gnolls yelling. He had managed to get here just in time for, well, the village's destruction, or perhaps the kobold himself had led to its destruction. That was hard to say. Half-blade. That's useful. Can sell that. Quite a lot. But if the kobold was locked in there, he had time to ensure that this place was actually clear of all gnolls. And it was good that he checked, apparently. Nope, missed it completely. Whiffed. Utter whiff. Yeah, when it's just one, that's no biggie. One more body to search, it would seem. How ironic. A dead body with a healing potion. He offered it to Dorna. She would have more use for it than he did. He had quite the store as it was. And now for this kobold. If he had been the reason that this place had been brought to ruin, he wasn't sure he'd be able to restrain himself. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy my videos and don't want to miss out on future content, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. If you would like to support me on a more personal level, offer recommendations, chat with me, or vote on future series, then consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you once again for all your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next chapter of our story.